Hello, bestie boos. It is time for a very, very important video. It's the most important TBR of the year, and that is my 10 before the end. Despite the fact that I need to read 20 before the end of the year. 20 before the end. Send your thoughts and prayers, please. Let's get into the 10 books that are on the top of my TBR to get to before the end of the year. And I decided to go strictly with physical books because I'm probably going to make a video about this soon, but let's just say the numbers are not looking good. I have not read a lot off my shelf this year. That's a me problem. That's a concern. But you know what? We've got 2 months left to turn it around. If I read 20 books off my shelf, that would make all the difference. But we're going to be reasonable today, and we're going to just talk about 10, maybe 11. Okay, I might have cheated a little. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into the books I want to read before the end of 2024. Can y'all believe it's almost the end of 2024? Oh my god. I am not prepared for that. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to kick it off with a couple classics. One of my goals this year was to read, I think, only 3 classics. And I think I've actually read 2, and it's thanks to y'all in the fall book club. So cheers to you, cheers to us, because otherwise I don't think I would be anywhere near reaching this goal. So our book for November, y'all, if you have tuned in, is Anne of Green Gables by Ellen Montgomery. Of course, this is a beyond classic book. It's a coming of age story of a young girl. And honestly, I need to read this because, as I always say, the TV show shaped me as a child. And I just need that feeling back in my life. I need Gilbert back in my life. So I am so excited to get to this. We are reading it for November, and I will add the date here for y'all so you know when we're meeting. More than anything, I just can't wait to talk to y'all about it. So first up, Anne of Green Gables. Next is a heavy hitter, Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. This book is obviously another classic, so we all know this story. I think we all love this story, if you're a girl who gets it. But I am obsessed with the Christian Bale, Winona Ryder situation. But I need to go back to the core material, okay? I need to take a visit here. It's a longer book, but I do think it's written for younger people. Am I right? This is, more of a young adult, right? It's over 700 pages. So I just have to commit some time to this. But I think end of November, beginning of December, this would be so fun to pick up and just get to immerse myself in the world that Louisa May Alcott created. Next, we are getting into books that are part of series, and honestly, I think most of them are first in the series. Let me know how you go about picking up your series, because I know right now a lot of people are filming finishing series I'm in the middle of kind of videos, and for some reason I'm in the mood to start all these new series. I have no fire lit under my bum to actually finish a series. I want to start new ones, so this is kind of insane. But we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna show you the series I want to start, and I think I just need some new stuff in my life, honestly. So first off, we have The Dead Guy Next Door by Lucy Score. I have yet to actually read a Lucy Score book. I know, shame on me. I started one, and then for some reason just all these other things came up, never finished it. So this one is a bit of a murder mystery. Our main character is Riley Thorne, and she seems to have visions/hallucinations. Her mom's convinced she's clairvoyant, and she has this private investigator come over to her house, and he's looking for the guy next door who turns out to actually be murdered. So her and the private investigator team up to solve this mystery. I love a series that's comforting, kind of cozy mystery vibe, so I hope this is exciting but still has some of that coziness. I really love the Finley Donovan series, so I'm hoping I kind of get a taste of that here. but we'll see. Of course, I'll keep you updated on how it goes. Next is like such a crowd pleaser. I know everyone loves this one. It is Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I haven't read anything by him, so this would be my first read by him. This one is about a small community that loves hockey. Hockey is what brings the town together and keeps it running. But I know something tragic happens. I think I try not to like get all the details because I want to go in and be a little surprised, but something happens that rocks this community to its core, and ... The rest is to be revealed through reading it. Yeah, this has been on my list forever, so I'm gonna have to read this one, and I feel like it's perfect for the winter hockey season. Next is another book about hockey, but it turns out to be a hockey romance. This is Collide by Bal Kabara. I'm sorry if I am butchering that. This one is about Summer, who wants to get into sports psychology, and she's thrust into this situation where she has to work with a hockey player who kind of just confirms all the things she thought about hockey players. They have a lot of banter. It's a little bit enemies is the feeling I get. But of course, eventually walls break down and turns into love. Classic. It's classic. It's what we're all looking for. And I hope it's good because I just need a good hockey romance in my life. The garbage needs to end. You know what I mean? Okay. Moving on to, again, books in a series, but these books are all fantasy-esque picks. Starting with a rogue one, which is Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. This one, if you know about it, you know about it, and that's kind of where I want to leave it because I don't want to be crazy. It's blue alien people kidnap these women. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I haven't read it, but it's on my shelf. I need to decide if this is something I'm going to read and enjoy or let go. Typically, a monster romance doesn't necessarily hit for me, but this one has just had so much chatter around it. I need to dig my teeth in. That feels wrong to say in this context, but I just need to figure out what this book is about and know once and for all if it's worth the read. Next, I have Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. You guys have probably seen this on every TBR I've ever done my entire life, and I'm sick of that, and that's really why it's here. You guys have probably heard me specifically tell you the synopsis all the time, but this is about Theodora, who has half of her soul, and she's kind of on an adventure quest to get the rest of her soul back, but having only half her soul makes her act a little bit inappropriately, and she ends up drawing, unnecessary attention to herself. This takes place in Regency England, so there's tons of scandal, etc. I've heard great things. I've heard nothing but great things. It's really just my fault that it hasn't been picked up yet. So, dear Lord, if I read one book on this list, let it be this one. Let it be this. Next, we have this beautiful special edition of Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This edition is gorgeous, and it needs to be read. I honestly have avoided everything about this book, so I'm not even going to give you a synopsis. It's so popular. There's so much information about it out there. You can absolutely find that, or you've already read it, and you're ahead of me. Congrats. I just want to go in this with really no knowledge of what's going to happen, because I think that's a really enjoyable way to read fantasy, and I just want to avoid spoilers. So I'm not going to give you anything on this, but know that it's on my list. And that's a fat series to get started on at the end of the year. Like, I am a little crazy for that. Isn't that like an 8-9 book series? Anyways, I've made my choice. It's on the list. Lastly, in this series section, we have Morgan by Mary E. Pearson. I have read the first book. I heard that the prequel was better to read after that first book and then get into the rest of the series. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trust everyone's guiding opinions, and I will be picking this one up next. It's a novella, so this one should absolutely get read before the end of the year. Finally, the final book, but we're going to make that 2 books because I have trouble following rules, so we have 11 books to talk about, but these two are a little bit more seasonal. So one of them is Modern Divination by Isabel Agahania. Dear Lord, please read that for yourself. Okay, that's your business. My pronunciation is nobody's business. So this book, our main character has kind of perfectly curated this double life, Hannah Montana-esque, between a human life and her witch life, until she starts to lose her magic and has a run-in with a power-hungry witch, forcing her to team up with, of course, her terrible, arrogant classmate to figure out what's going on. Classic, yet again. This has been on my TBR for so long. It's definitely more fall feeling in my mind, and it definitely gives a bit of Halloween. But you know what? Sometimes we just got to get through some books, and I think I'm going to have to read this at the very beginning of November because it is what it is, and witches are timeless, okay? They're timeless. And lastly, we have A Christmas Romance. I probably will make another video about Christmas romances if that's something you guys are interested in seeing, but this is one that has been sitting on my shelf for years. And every year I pull it off to get to it, and every year it doesn't get read. So this year's the year. It's A Cross-Country Romance by Courtney Walsh. In this book, our main character is traveling home for the holidays, but she ends up having to ride with her brother's long-term friend, who she had a childhood crush on growing up, that she's been trying to forget. But now that, you know, we got some forced proximity, we'll see what happens. We all know what happens. They'll fall in love. So I'm excited about it. Hopefully I'll be able to kick off the Christmas season with this particular one. Thank you for taking the time to go over my list with me. I hope this holds me accountable. Let me know if any of these books are on your TBR for the end of the year. And if you have a favorite from this list, give me some encouragement below to get to that book, because I'm gonna need it. I will, of course, keep you updated on how these books are going. I always post in real time about that on Instagram, Goodreads, that sort of thing. But if you made it to this point in the video, please leave me a book stack emoji with your comment below. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed, and as always, I gotta love you and leave you, but I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!